Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful sunny day. I'm Patricia Hanbidge. I am your horticulturist and I'm happy you could join me. Today we're going to talk about how to successfully grow plants indoors because now it's winter, and I'll update you on some of the things that we've planted up a few months ago. So let's get started. Um, got a few things that have been sitting on my kitchen windowsill. So as you can see here, we've got a Hoya and an annual that I took a cutting off, and of course here's some ivy. So I guess the secret of growing plants successfully indoors is to make sure that you're giving those plants what they need. So first and foremost is light. So as the winter progresses, I mean, the days are getting shorter. It's important for us to supplement the light that plants need to grow. So these have been sitting on a north facing windowsill. So they are lower light plants. So in times like this, when our days are shorter and the sun is actually at more of an angle, having plants very close to a window is helpful from the plant perspective because light is a very limiting factor of growth. So as you can see, here's the ivy. It's got beautiful roots. Some plants are easy to propagate just by sticking them in a nice little bottle or glass and fill it with water. Beautiful, healthy root system. I get a big charge out of just watching the plants grow on a daily basis. Now, these have been on my windowsill since, my goodness, October? No, earlier, September. So, they've got some nice growth, and I could pot them up if I wanted to, but I think I'll enjoy them in these nice little jars for a little while longer. So light is very important, and something that is important for you to ensure that you're giving the plants. So some plants like to have more light. In the wintertime, keeping those plants under grow lights or other supplemental light is a good idea if you can. I tend to rotate my plants under grow lights and back into different areas of the house where we can enjoy them. So the next thing we want to talk about is water. And I mean, the humidity in our homes is pretty low. So not only do you need to maybe water a little more often, but ensure that if possible, you can raise that humidity. I like to have a humidifier going all the time, and I can tell a difference in not only my skin, but the plants as well. So important to think about that. One of the things you have to also consider, though, is that the plants may not be actively growing. So it's okay to keep them a little bit on the drier side, just because if they're not actively growing and you give a lot of water, quite often you'll end up with more problems just because the plant is waterlogged all the time and doesn't have enough light energy to trigger all the work that a plant does. So light, water, the media. You usually don't do a lot of repotting inside. I like to repot just before spring or when I can get outside in the warmth of the day and repot plants then. So as you can see behind me, we've got some Meyer lemons that are ready for harvesting. And I mean, how beautiful is that? Lemons need to ripen on the tree. This one is starting to bloom again too. I've got some limes that are blooming as well, so that's kind of fun. Well, I don't know if you recall, a number of months ago, I think it was somewhere in close to the end of the summer, I repotted the Clivia. So it was a monster plant, and here is one of them that I potted up, and when they actually have set some flowers, I'm probably going to put them on the market to sell some of them, because that giant Clivia plant that has been blooming twice a year for many, many, many years got divided up into 8 different plants. So I have talked about Clivias before. This one has some seed pods on it. I do have to be the bumblebee and pollinate plants when they're inside. And these seed pods take about a year on the plant before they ripen. So when you're harvesting seed to grow, not only do you have to have the birds and the bees, so you got to pollinate, but then these take about a year to ripen. They turn brilliant red, and then you know, I can plant them up. And here's a couple of baby clivias that are growing. Here we go, 1 and 2. It's growing. They don't really seem like too much right now, but they're kind of fun. So a few months ago, we did a little bit of a video on growing plants from things you can get from the grocery store. And one of the things that we planted up was mangoes. These ones are from Brazil. So mangoes are kind of fun. And if you recall, we planted up a mango, and lo and behold, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is going to be a mango tree. So months ago we did this. In fact, I think it was around March, maybe April, that we had planted up a bunch of different things. And lo and behold, about a month ago, this guy started growing, and he's real happy. So that's kind of fun. So when you're growing plants indoors, as you can see, I've got a beautiful background. It's real. Of course it's real. And these were all tropicals and subtropicals that were outside. And when I put the plants outside, if you recall, they go into a shaded location. So I'm not changing the light drastically. It's about now where you might be growing some plants that you had brought in from outside. You might start to see some spider mites. You might start to see, you know, lots of different things growing. So just remember that inside in the wintertime, it's very dry. So keep an eye on all your plants. And if there is an infestation that happens, which will happen, you know, there's no way to stop it from happening, but it will happen. So keep an eye on your plants, keep them as healthy as possible, water enough, but not too much. I don't fertilize much in the wintertime. Just because there isn't a lot of active growth. As we move closer to spring, it's probably good to think about feeding, you know, your houseplants a little bit more. And I mean, everything around me still looks happy. You see, I've got some birds back there. I'm hoping they're going to bloom. So light, water, don't have to worry too much about the food. And just, you know, keep an eye on things, because I've already seen, you know, a little outbreak of spider mites on the Brugmansia, because it's a bug magnet. And let me know how you're doing. If there's any topics you'd like to see covered on Facebook Live or on my YouTube channel, Grow, drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing, and if there's something I can do to help you grow more in the wintertime. And I do thank you for joining me. I am on every week. The day is still changing. I might move it to the weekend so little Sprout can join us again and share her knowledge and her smiling face with you. And I hope wherever you are staying safe, you're happy, and you're growing. Thanks for joining me, folks. See you next time. Bye now.